It's final heartbreak again for England. We all thought it was coming home. It didn't. Spain were too good. We were too passive. We're going to talk about it. It's football filling.
Right, first things first, Benny boy. The big question is, Gareth Southgate, should he stay on or should this be
we don't mess around, do we?
Should this be a thank you very much, Gareth? We've had some good memories. We haven't quite got over the line, but cheers.
I think it probably will be, yes. I think it probably will be. I think this was probably already decided before the tournament, whether we'd have won or lost or whatever. But I think that will probably be it now. It'll be interesting to see who does get chosen going forward. I could imagine it would be sort of an Eddie Howe type sort of manager, somebody, you know, this new sort of revolution of football and front foot and pressing, and I think he does fit the bill quite well. But if you look at his record for the last 8 years, it's phenomenal, isn't it? It is phenomenal. The only asterisk above all of it will be that we haven't won anything, and that's ultimately what it comes down to.
Well, let's look at that, Ben. You say it's phenomenal. 2018 World Cup semi-final, Euro 2020 final, World Cup 2022 quarter-final, Euro 2022 final, 2024 final. We say it's phenomenal. How do we measure success as a country is the ultimate question, because in my eyes as a football fan, I go, it's not phenomenal because we haven't won anything. And I don't want to be particularly negative, but that's my view. What do you think, Watto?
No, look, ultimately, because we didn't get over the line last night, 2 years' time takes us to, at best, 60 years since we won anything. And the reality is, football's all about winning. We talk about it week in, week out. When we do the show about the Premier League, how good it is, what the quality of the managers are, they know how to get the job done. And getting to two finals is highly commendable. But nobody talks about finishing second. The world revolves around winners, and at the minute, we're falling short.
Yeah, and there's lots of stats looking on Instagram last night, Fozzie. You know, England only team to lose back-to-back finals in the Euros.
I've been to both of them. I've been to both finals, and both finals we should have won. We lost the Italy game. We were the better. Well, we weren't the better team. They just had more nous about them to get over the line. That's what I just said, though. It's that getting over the line. Nobody remembers second place. They always remember the winners. And Italy had more about them to get over the line, whether it was pulling Saka back or whatever it was, they got over the line. And then last night, the Spanish, same thing. They just knew how to get over the line. They dominated and dictated from the very first minute from kickoff. And even when it got to the die-in sort of 6-8 minutes of the game, they knew how to see the game out. They were going down, they were taking the time, they were rolling around.
Cucurella bought some good fouls in the injury time.
Bought some incredible fouls, but that's what you need. You need players to be able to do that, and that's what they did to get themselves over the line.
Do you think if we had an Eddie Howe, or if it was a different manager, those two finals genuinely could have been wins?
I think you need a bit more experience within the team as well. I think we lack a real kind of a dirty player.
Yeah,
I think we lack a dirty player, Wayne Rooney, somebody that will get around everybody and have that real nasty snarl and growl that gets in the head of the opposition as well. I think we lack that. I think we're just a little bit too nice, and we concentrate on it all just being very perfect, precise, passing, methodical football.
I think we talked about it yesterday before the game, and we said about maybe Rodri, someone sticking it on him early, like really getting into him, and we were looking around the team, and you said, and like I think the conclusion we came to was, it might be Jude Bellingham is like that one. It might have that little bit, but we were struggling to find.
Yeah, no, he's played with the edge, hasn't he, Jude Bellingham? And he probably would have been the one to physically be able to leave one on him, as you said. But for me, watching the game, if I'm honest about the tournament, it's a miracle that we got to the final. You know, we've watched every game, and realistically, when I was going to the game yesterday, I was just thinking, how has it got to this point that we've actually made it to the final? And then all the emotion as an England fans coming out, you're surrounded by fans, this is going to be the best day of our lives, we're going to win it, we're going to do this. But in my mind, I was just referring back to Denmark, draw, Slovenia, draw.
Slovakia, full-time draw, getting into...
We only won 2 games in the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Serbia, first game in the qualifying group, and then beating Holland, Ollie Watkins' last kick. So, in essence, we won 2 games and got to a final. Yes, you have to manage the tournament, and we got to the final. But in the cold light of day, look, Spain were the best team in the tournament, and they were the best team last night.
Yeah. Do you think, Fozzie, I mean, me and Big Phil were having a chat last night and saying, it doesn't feel like a vintage tournament, and I don't think we've had like as many star players or star performers as we've had in big tournaments in the past. What would you say about the overall quality of the tournament?
Yeah, I kind of agree to an extent. I think from a purely purist point of view, where you're looking at, like you say, big names shining, they haven't shown in this tournament, have they? You've had a few real breakthrough, like the Lamine Yamals last night, Nico Williams. But your Mbappes and your Harry Kanes, and you could even look through this England team, and there's not really one standout candidate that's absolutely been on fire, has they? But I just think, as a whole, as a spectacle, I've really enjoyed it. I've absolutely buzzed off it. In fact, we've been lucky enough to be out here. We've been at all the games, and we've made it a real kind of nice atmosphere of getting ready for the games, the build-up for the games, looking forward to it, doing these shows after the games. And I understand what people say, it hasn't been a vintage tournament, but nonetheless, as a spectacle, I've loved it just as much as any other tournament.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. And then just tactically, Watto, what did you think about how we set up yesterday and the first half in particular?
Well, I weren't surprised by playing 4-2-3-1. And matching Spain up. We'd spoke in previous shows about matching the Swiss up, going to a back 3. We stuck with a back 3 for the game against Holland, so I didn't think we should have played a back 3. So tactically I was quite pleased that we played a back 4, because I don't think Morata, if I'm honest and brutal about it, we're going to cause the 2 centre-halves for us any major problems. I mean, the 2 lads, Stones and Goyi, have played exceptional, and Goyi's probably, coming from nowhere really with Maguire not being fit, and he's possibly been England's standout performer. Yeah. But if we talk about that as a defensive unit, then I always thought they were going to get the better of Morata. I think then the thing, and this is where we'll argue, or you can talk about wherever, I think Foden playing at 10 and sitting on Rodri and really man-marking him in that first half, I'm not quite sure where that left us, because I think Rodri gets man-marked for Man City every match and he finds a way, and obviously he knows Foden, and I'm not being disrespectful to Foden, but Rodri's a colossus in there, and Foden given that job, we never quite got the shackles on him anyway, but then Bellingham's playing wide left, and he's kind of at the game for that first half. But yet the moment where the game can change, half-time Rodri comes off with an injury, we never got the chance to get on the front foot. Within 2 minutes we're a goal down. And it looked like, I don't know what, normally at half-time you're thinking, right, it's 0-0, we're in a final, we've got to half-time, they've outpassed us, they've 80% possession probably to our 20. It felt like that, but we're in it. And yet we just walked our second half, boom, 1 down. And, yes, we've said how many times, we go a goal down, it wakes us up, everybody's at it and moving forward, but you're not going to keep doing that. And yes, obviously we make the changes later on, Palmer scores an unbelievable goal. And tactically, the one thing I would say is, and everybody's thinking it, we started with Harry Kane up front. He's our record goal scorer. He's joint top scorer in the tournament again. But what did he really do? We've seen every match. He's not caused a threat, but he's scored 3 goals. Yeah, one of them a penalty. But would I have put Watkins or a Tony in there first up, and then had England's greatest scorer to come on 60 minutes? Hopefully we're winning, or it's 0-0, and the game's stretched a bit. And we can have a proper blast for 30 minutes.
I think the first sort of 3, after the first 3 or 4 games, I think we should have learnt our lesson and gone, the way that we want to play, or the way that Gareth wants the boys to play, this system does not suit Harry Kane. It's as simple as that. If you play in a system where you're getting balls into the box, Harry Kane will score you 30 goals a season. He will score 30 goals a season for Bayern Munich, guaranteed, right? But we don't work like that. We don't go and get balls into the box and cut. We don't do that. So he's just going to keep dropping deep, and he's out of the game. We get the ball up there and it's like, well, there's nobody in there in the box, so what's the point of it? What is the point? You may as well play somebody who's going to stretch it in behind like an Ollie Watkins, or you play physically, get the ball up into the air, get it onto Ivan Toney's chest. We didn't learn a lesson and we just kept it going, and it was almost like a slow, painful death.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's what it will, mate.
It was, and it's not Kane's fault. 'Cause looking on social media this morning, we've all been having a look on Instagram, and it's the same things of, you know, the stats that basically are not
We had the
very
same.
nice.
We had the same XG as Croatia, and they didn't even make it out of the group. The same expected goals per game as Croatia, and they didn't even make it through the group stages. But Harry Kane is still a world-class striker, and he will still score you 30 goals next season.
Is he in danger of being used as a scapegoat, Ben?
A little bit, yeah. I think he is in danger of that, and I'd say it's probably not his fault because the system doesn't suit him. But this is where the decision should have been taken out of his hands, and somebody else should have been on that pitch from the first minute. That's what I think, anyway. But just going back to the game, though. I think the Holland game really gave us a false sense of security because it was such a good game and we played such a different style of football on the front foot. And again, I don't know whether it was because they scored so early in the game, the Dutch, that we had to just come out from the get-go. But when we came out after that Dutch goal, it was just, that's what I want to see. That's the possibilities that England can offer you. And yet again, though, the game kicked off against Spain and it was just touchy-feely, just walky-walky, and it was exactly that until they scored a goal. The shackles came off a bit. They could have gone 2 and 3 up, by the way. They could have gone 2 and 3 up. They could have gone 2 and 3 up. Thankfully, they didn't. Cole Palmer scores that goal. But then once we scored the goal again, it was just sit back again. Let's just sit back again. Just relax.
Yeah, we don't seize the momentum.
Oh, no, we just didn't.
You get a goal like that, but I think I said on one of the previous shows, we were watching Spain, and I think they conceded a late goal against Germany.
Yeah.
But they just have that now.
Nothing changes.
Nothing
they
changes.
Just keep going, yeah.
And I think if you go back to the point about Kane, I think surely the coaching staff and the manager would have said, possibly 2 or 3 games into that tournament, the game we want to play, they'll still play 4-2-3-1, but every team that plays 4-2-3-1 pushes up to press 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So he 10 releases and gets next to Kane. But Kane couldn't get any real pressure on the ball, and this number 10 then coming in to press as a 2, and your 2 higher ones, we never got that press properly right because of the lacking of physicality.
But you see the way that Spain pressed us last night. The reason why we had to hit so many long balls is they were pressing all the time. Morata never stopped running. The front lads never stopped running. Nico Williams always trying to shut Jordan Pickford down. That's how you press properly. So we did have to play an awful lot of long balls. You look at the stats after the game as well. I think it's like 63% possession for the Spanish. They've had more shots on goal, more shots off target, more corners, more throw-ins. Everything was in their favour, but you could just see it in front of your eyes going, yeah, we're just letting them do that to us. That's what we just did to the Dutch. We dictated and dominated to the Dutch, and the Spanish have just done exactly the same thing for us.
But the thing is, mate, when you start like that, you can't wrestle it
No,
back.
you can't. No.
Yeah, I mean, look, he tried, and to be fair to Southgate, look, the crowd are obviously chanting for Watkins. I think that was a no-brainer. But like Palmer will be sat at home when he gets back today, and he'll be thinking, the impact he's had in every match, and he's not started a game. And I think, you know, when Gareth and the staff debrief post-tournament in a week's time or whenever they do it, I think they'll look back at some key moments. I think Kane will be a red flag.
Yeah.
Starting Trent in midfield, massive red flag. But, you know, the reality is we've got to be getting players like a Palmer on that pitch to start.
Would the coaching staff view it as almost as a positive that he's come on and made an impact? Is that almost like right decision, right times, or should they be more reflective and say he should have got minutes from the start of the games?
Well, I think if you're honest, you can give yourself the old pat on the back and a little bit of self-praise and say, oh yeah, great substitutions, he's come and changed the game. But in reality, you've got to look at the games and try and have that impact from the start and be bold in your decision-making process. And if you're honest, obviously you select big squads for these tournaments. And if I'd been Gareth Southgate and you turn around and look at the quality you've got on your bench, you must be thinking at some points, I've got to let these guys run free here. Or look at Mainu when he started to get his chance in the midfield. I thought it was probably a step too far for him last night at 19, but when he's had his chance, in reality, he's stepped up and taken it. You know what I mean? It's a big game on big ass to play in a final. But these lads on the bench have had phenomenal seasons in their teams. And you know what? They're chomping at the bit. They want the chance. They're as frustrated as all of us in the stand and that. And look, yesterday he got 20 minutes and he showed what he can do with 20 minutes. But let them go from the start. And do you know what? I think that's where I feel as though we just played into Spain's hands. Where if we'd have gone really aggressive at them and made some bold decisions, They were expecting that team that we put out. They weren't expecting anything else.
No.
As soon as Shaw's in for Trippier, that's it. Everything else is set.
I think everyone knew. All the fans knew in the street, didn't we?
Why don't we just say, right, Foden, you've done great, had a magnificent season, you've huffed and puffed for us, and in the last game you were really, really good. But I tell you what we're doing, we're letting Palmer on here, we're letting Gordon, whatever you want to do, but just change it up a bit.
You know what?
60 minutes.
Miraculously, right, when we got back into the game, we've equalised and it's 1-1 with, 12, 15 minutes to go, right? That is a chance there. That is an opportunity for England to have won the game. England can, from that moment, go on and seize it and go, right, no, we're not just going to sit and chill and wait for full time. We are going to seize this opportunity now. Rodri's off the pitch. Yep. Spanish are a little bit disorganised at this moment in time. We've got key players on the bench that we know that we could bring on. Shackles off. Boys, go and get it. When that goal goes in, it's a massive opportunity for Gareth, Steve Holland, the rest of the team, Harry Kane, to grab everybody into a nice little huddle at the side of the pitch and go, boys, now's the moment, right? If we go for it now, right now, we can win this game. We'll win this whole tournament. Let's just go for it. Let's give it 15 minutes of everything we've got. We can go and score another goal. Easy. Nobody did that. Everybody just went, oh, thank God we're back in the game.
Back in it. But like you said, the whole tournament could have come down to that 15-minute period.
15 minutes, and we could have done it.
Scored
we
a goal,
yeah.
And really, say, look, lads, forget everything that's happened. 15 minutes to go and win it. 15 minutes. Everything's in your favour at that point.
Yeah,
everything.
And if we'd have done that, and Shackles off, lads, just go for it, like hell for leather, give it everything you've got, and they score on a counter-attack or they score, cool, you hold your hands up because we went for it, we did it. But what we did was we ended up sitting back and giving the game back to them.
I think that's the key. Like you were saying about huffing and puffing and giving it that last 15 minutes. And if we'd have got caught on the counter and lost 3-1, but we'd have really given it that go.
You'd have buzzed,
I don't think the fans would have moaned too much about it. But it's when you kind of go out, walking out the stadium feeling a bit deflated again. And we knew that even Holland, even Netherlands, we haven't faced massive quality.
No.
And actually the 2 goals they scored, there was like a one-touch pass played from midfield on both goals that just tore us apart, wasn't it? And it was that quality that just made the difference.
I was stood, obviously, in the sand with you guys, and I just thought, oh my God, to score a goal like that in the final. I mean,
that's very easy.
You can pull the bones out of it if you're England, and there'll be moments where we could have had a press, or you could have sat off, and all these things. But that just epitomises the 2 teams for me. That was an unbelievable goal to win a final. Unbelievable play. And we never looked like that. And we've scored 8 goals all tournament. Now, you can't tell me in 7 games scoring 8 goals that we think, rightly or wrongly, that we're worthy to be champions of Europe. You cannot be on that football. And 8 goals, by the way, and we've got all that talent. I think that's where people and Gareth and the guys, if they're really honest, and they know the talent they had in that squad, they'll be thinking, 8 goals. And what we've had here, why didn't we just go boom?
Yeah.
And obviously, in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing. I don't think he'll get the time now to push it on again. I think it's the right time for him to go. And like you said at the very start of it, where do you quantify the success? It's very difficult, but being so close, we might as well have been so far, because it's been a painful tournament, if I'm honest, to watch. I've really enjoyed the fan experience and the month that we've had, and living it as a fan, and it's the hope that kills you. We thought, because we got through against Holland and we actually played relatively well and we were on the front foot, we're thinking, right, same again, boys, in this final, and we've got you. A fair point to ask would be, did the extra time in 2 games and playing the day after Spain affect us? I don't know. We're always looking and grabbing at little excuses. In the end, Spain were the better team, but we never played with the shackles off, and we would never ever have scored a goal like they scored.
Yeah, we got beat by a 6 out of 10 Spain, basically. That's the worrying part of it. Is it's there for the taking, and we got beat by a Spain, good players, but you'd say that we've got a better team on paper.
Yeah, but mate, if you're giving them 6 out of 10, if you're honest, and they've won it,
I know.
But what are we giving ourselves to get to that final?
Yeah.
Because if we're honest, if you're saying Spain 6, we're at 5 then, isn't we?
Yeah.
Because how we got to the final, be honest, how many times were we talking post the game? We've lived on a Bellingham moment. Everybody, we spoke about it last show, you'd have been upset if that penalty is given against you. And everything seemed to be just helping us along the way, the timing of goals and decisions, and oh my God, here now, it's been a painful tournament in terms of trying to analyse the football, if I'm honest.
Yep.
But from a fan's perspective and being here, it has been amazing, and the England fans have been amazing, and everything with it. And it's just a shame when you see the effort that people made to get here yesterday, from the moment that whistle went in Dortmund, just to get to Berlin,
It's life as an England fan.
Yeah.
We know what it is.
Yeah, well, we set out, mate, 4 weeks ago, and if you're honest, we never thought we'd be hitting the road to Berlin.
No.
The lads behind the scenes here never thought they were having a road trip to Berlin. So
I walked past a lad in the stadium last night. He was about my age, to be fair, and he
21.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, and he looked at me and he went, "We'll get him in a couple of years, won't we?" And I thought, I was like, I like that. It's coming home, just a couple more years.
English blind optimism. I think
Yeah,
they call
well,
that.
you've got to have it, haven't you? You've got to have it. I want to talk quickly about Jordan Pickford. So
Yep.
obviously, goalkeeper union. As a layman, I'd say he did really well last night. What's your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I agree. Came out, took some real nice high balls, early doors, relieved the pressure, made a fantastic save late on in the game as well, one where he tipped it around the post. Brilliant save. I don't think he can do too much with the goals. The one that's gone past his left foot as he stood there, I think he's just maybe got his stud stuck in the ground a little bit, couldn't quite quickly flick his leg out, but I think the pace beat him regardless. But yeah, just generally, I think he's had a very good tournament, a very good tournament, very solid. Hasn't really been asked too many questions, hasn't had to make too many kind of world-class, top-class saves. But yeah, you know what you're going to get from Jordan Pickford, and I'm double happy with it.
I think there's no doubt, Watto, that he's still very much England's number one, isn't he?
Undisputed number one. It were actually nice to see. We'd spoke about it actually in the week before the game, because we've obviously been to them all, and you're kind of analysing his performance, especially when he's at your end of the stadium, and he'd never taken a cross in the game. But actually yesterday, like you said, he were on the
real
front
good
foot,
ones, yeah.
couple of real good high claims, punch under pressure. He's made big saves at big moments in that final. Undisputed England's number one, and ultimately, what I would say for him is he's always done very well in the tournaments.
Yeah.
And irrespective of Everton form or potential form in qualifiers and all these kind of things, when it comes to tournament football, he knows how to prepare himself and get himself ready. And obviously, you know, he's coming into the latter years of his career now, but look, there's nothing on him. He's fit, he's agile. He's certainly going to be England's number one at the World Cup in 2 years' time. And if I'm honest, I can't see any reason why he can't perform in the next Euros.
Yep.
So I would say he's got a good 2 to 4 years still to be England's
another
number
50 caps, couldn't he?
He could have, and I mean, he's probably going to be in tournament football, going to achieve some records now. We got to the final 2 years, 4 years on the in tournament football. He's done 2 full finals, so that's 14 games he's had. There's not many England goals.
I think we could sort of, that question that I asked Sarah about Jordan Pickford, we could kind of switch that a little bit as well if you want, and ask about the goalkeepers that have faced England. And is there any goalkeeper we faced so far that has had a blinder against us? Is there anyone that's made a world-class save against England this tournament? Can you remember anything? I can't. No. I really can't, lads. Honestly.
Schmeichel had an easy ride, didn't he?
Easy
First
ride.
game,
You look at everybody, mate. Dubravka didn't have much to do.
No, Slovakia.
You look at all the goalies we played against. Verbruggen in the semi-final, Unai Simon in the final last night. None of them have had to make any save of note.
Last night, Simon, he didn't get worked.
He didn't have anything to do. I can't remember him making a save, really.
We've not had that, have we? Like, even when we get the goal against Switzerland, nothing till that moment.
Nothing, I know.
Goal last night, Simon, nothing.
Simon's made a save from the corner, hasn't he? From a John Stones head, and then the rebound got cleared off the line by the defender. But yeah,
that's as close as we come. And I did actually think going into the game when we'd beat Holland and they got through against France, I thought we might be able to do them on a set play because they've not got that physicality. But in some ways, they looked quite dangerous on their set plays compared to ours. But look, we were roughing and puffing all tournament. The one thing that we've actually been really good at in previous tournaments has been the scoring stats from set plays, but this tournament we didn't.
It's like I think to win a tournament you have to be very good at set plays. I think they can be a massive feather in your cap if you can every corner you get, the opposition's thinking, uh-oh, and your fans are going, oh, we've got a chance here,
Yeah,
we've got a chance.
you've got
We
some
get a corner,
routines.
and I don't think we're going to score from a corner. No chance on this earth. But a ball into a box, I'm thinking, no chance. We are not going to get first contact. We will not be testing the goalkeeper.
That's where we lost Maguire, isn't it?
Without doubt,
He was such a threat first contact.
Yeah.
And we've not had that. I mean,
Nope.
Stones goes up there, he's willing. Guy, willing. Kane, for all his scoring record, and he does get some contacts, but he's probably that sniffer poacher. He's not that first contact guy. So yeah, well, I think from that, and Rice is obviously in there, but he's got the physicality, but he's not a goal
You
scoring
need that though.
midfield
You've got to
player,
have
is he?
some. You've got to have at times to use that. You think back to the Jude Bellingham goal where it was a long throw into the box from Kyle Walker. It's a long throw. Gay gets the first contact, flicks it on. Jude Bellingham overhead kick goal. Sometimes you have to score dirty goals like that. You have to. You can't always just play this lovely stuff.
You said, Ben, like, have we seen Kyle Walker absolutely launching that ball in?
He had a chance yesterday. He had a chance yesterday, and he went back. He went all the way back. I think to whoever it was playing. He went all the way back, and I remember thinking, we've got everybody up there. That was a perfect moment to launch a ball into the box. Try again, get a flick on or something like that. All the way back again. I'm just thinking.
But you know, in your old days with Pulis, and if we had a bit leggy and that, take the sting out of it. Let him rock up for a long throw. Get your strikers in the box. Get everybody in. Get your two centre halves. We counter-attack threat. We're quick and leave Walker back.
So is Pulis going in the next England manager?
Yeah,
I think he's got a chance. He's a winner, isn't he?
Craig Dawson's going to get called up. Pulis is
Oh,
coming.
Dawes would have scored a set play for us, wouldn't he? He'd have scored a set play.
Imagine Harry Maguire and Craig Dawson. Honestly, if every corner we got, if we had them two,
Scoring some goals.
we would score so many goals. They would score. How many goals we score? 8. They'd score 8 between them. They would. I promise you.
I love that. I mean, ultimately, what we didn't want to do today was be like jumping on the bandwagon and hammering the lads. But this, in effect, it's three mates having a chat about the football game, right?
Yeah.
You have to have these talking points. And like in one of the games, people saying, "Oh, we're being negative." It's not about that.
No.
It's about being honest and bright-eyed and saying we weren't quite good enough. And the reason we're doing it is because we know what could be with this group of players. But talking about the group of players, if you had to pick a guy, Ben, for your England player of the tournament, where would you be going?
It'll be Mark Gay. Has to be Mark Gay. Just imperious all the way through. Genuinely imperious all the way through. Just, I was going to say didn't put a foot wrong. That's doing him a disservice. Is just saying he didn't put a foot wrong. He was absolutely fantastic. So calm, so cool, measured. Absolutely under control of his emotions and his body shape, and when there's pressure on the ball and when to do this. He had everything right. He was not fazed by any second of it. It looks like it was his 5th tournament.
And there's going to be some big clubs sniffing, right, Watto?
Yeah, no, same for me. He was a standout performer. He's done himself no harm with performing in a major tournament like that. It'll be a new contract.
With a 70 mil buyout clause is what it'll be.
He'll sign his new contract, then probably still get a move before the window shuts. But no, he was phenomenal and a real plus point for England moving forward. I just wish we'd have been sat here talking about a Foden, a Palmer,
imagine.
Somebody, a Saka, because if that kind of player had been our standout performer, I think we'd have done better.
I think Palmer could have been. If he had more minutes and had the starts, I think we could be sat here because his form is there.
Yeah.
Clearly, his form is there.
Yeah.
And if he'd been given the minutes, maybe would have been spoken about him. The other thing is as well, I think we were not critical, but observant that Jude looked tired in the first few games. But I think he grew into the tournament, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did well last night. He had a good game last night. He was very good at kind of. Obviously, I think he's played against quite a lot of them players anyway in the Liga. You know, Carvajal. He knew exactly what to expect from him. So he would almost sort of set a trap sometimes. Wait, and then he'll get nick it first quickly, buy a foul, nick the ball, get a little counter attack or something. I thought he was decent last night. He had a chance with his left foot as well that he just dragged wide, didn't he? But I think overall in the tournament, I'd say he was probably a 6 out of 10.
Okay, right.
Agree?
What? No, I think that's maybe. I think he got better as the tournament went on.
What, for the whole tournament, 7 out of 10?
Maybe a 6.75.
We give him a 7. But look, let's keep it real for all these England fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be optimistic about
with
the talent that we've got, and I do think it's time for Gareth to you know, say that's my time. He's done really, really well, but we've just got to have something to get that next step. You
Look
know
at
what I mean?
America, Canada, and Mexico in 2 years,
Yeah.
and you know, these guys are going to be even more experienced. There's clearly going to be a couple more coming through
Yeah.
the system. Wharton obviously didn't get a minute,
Yeah.
but looks absolutely the real deal.
Yeah.
And Gahey coming in, you think, okay, the big worry was about centre backs, wasn't it? So you kind of think that looks good. And I think we said earlier on there, we could just do with that real on-pitch leader. Obviously, Harry Kane leads in a certain way, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But we could do with that little bit of
look,
little bit of bite, couldn't we?
bit of dirtiness.
And if you think, obviously Shaw started last night, and if he remains fit, he's a shoe-in for England at left back. But if you think Trippier and Walker on either side, they're coming towards the end of their international time now.
Yeah.
So it's really a chance for somebody as a fullback in these next 2 years to try and get into that position, because I think they can make that their own. And whether Walker's then, you know, part of the experience behind the team and is kind of there because he's had that tournament experience and help, but he's coming towards the end of it. So I think the two fullback positions, now that we've found a good combination at centre half, is the area what we're looking at. Because if you can get that right and the flair players keep producing, then that's what I want to see. And I think that's what whoever's in charge of the next selection process will be thinking. Can we just get on that front foot?
With regards to the manager, has that decision already been made by either Gareth or somebody behind the scenes?
I've not alluded to it. Obviously, you guys had that little chat earlier, but I know when Roy left, we'd already, as a group of staff, sat down pre-tournament, and you've got your script as to we're staying because we've done X, Y, or Z, or I'm leaving because of X, Y, or Z. I don't think it's not a decision that's not been discussed, and it might not have been made if it feels that way. But in my opinion, it would have been, if we fail, we're doing this. If we win, then I'm still doing this. But I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
For me, I think they've had that discussion, and yes, in the cold light of day, he'll let the dust settle for 3, 4, 5 days a week, whatever he does, and then we'll all get to know. But I mean, for me, it could have been dealt with quite easily last night, and stop all the conjecture.
I think either way, if he does walk away, he can hold his head high. I think he really can hold his head high.
Yeah.
It's probably fair to say England's most ever successful manager.
Well,
apart from the god of
obviously,
Ramsey.
of course.
I think, Ben, you talked about success, and I think it's a little bit like Sven-Göran Eriksson, where the golden generation, so to speak, and all these years later, I think we look back fairly fondly that he did well, and I think it'll be the same for Gareth, where nearly, but actually we went deep in tournaments, fans had great experiences.
And I agree, mate.
You have to pull the positives out of it.
I will always say, like, again, you could talk about the quality of the tournament, whether it's been like the levels. I don't care. I really don't care. I just care about the experience of it all. And I got to take my son to a Euro final a couple of years back. I got to go to another final yesterday. I've loved it. I absolutely love it. It's something to really gear up for, look forward to. Been absolutely fantastic.
So what are we saying then? Same again for America, Canada and Mexico then?
Without doubt.
We're up for the road trip.
Oh, that's a bit of a
Boom,
big...
what a trip.
That's a bigger road trip, that one is, than this one,
Hey,
I'll tell you
if
that.
the England team would have had our energy,
Bloody
especially on
hell.
the morning after a game,
You're
honestly,
not wrong, mate.
we'd have won it.
Yeah, bloody hell. That will be, I'll tell you what, that will be a special tournament, that will. USA 2026, that will be incredible.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll see you all there. That's it. Wicked, you lot. That's the German
That's
Euro.
the Berlin adventure.
That's the Berlin adventure.
Oh.
We've got one last thing before we go, though. It's the quiz.
Come on!
Oh, it's the quiz. Right, before we hand over to Jamie, the brilliant quizmaster Jamie that's done us all very proud, I'm going to ask a question, another audience question, following the Good Johnson one last time. So, who is the only player to score in 2 Euro finals? So there's been one player.
You told me this the other day. I can't even get involved.
It's an audience question, Ben. So, we'll give the answer after Jamie's quiz.
Perfect. Right, 10 questions today for the finale of the quiz, the Euro quiz. Are you guys ready?
Ready, Jiminy?
Yeah. Question 1. The 2 youngest players in the final was Lamine Yamal and Kobe Mainu. But what is their combined age?
33.
34.
No.
33?
No.
34.
No.
Wait.
No. The two youngest players in the final was Lamine Yamal and
36.
Kobe Mainoo.
35.
What is their
35.
combined age?
35.
It is 36. So,
What, I get that?
yeah, Watto got it 1-0. Lamine Yamal turned 17, which
Correct.
then put it
Day
up
before
to
the final.
day before
Yes.
the final.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, mate. He's an old lad now. 17.
so how old's Mainoo? 19?
19.
Yeah.
I thought he was 18.
Good
Yeah,
man.
me too, yeah.
Anyway.
There we go, 1-0 Watto.
No.
Question 2. Leicester defender Yannick Vestergaard plays
Denmark.
for what
Denmark. Oh.
country? Denmark is
Too
the correct
easy,
answer.
Jiminy.
It's easy if you know it.
No.
Easy if you know it.
Who got
You
the
didn't know
first
where
one?
they were.
Watto.
You didn't know where they were going.
It's
with
too
that one.
easy. It can't be that easy.
Well, you should get the answer then, shouldn't you?
You should have got one then, shouldn't you?
Question 3. Which national team made their debut?
Georgia.
No, you're both wrong.
We were trying to do a fuzzy.
It'll be easy this one, mate. It'll be easy. Go on.
Got all the time in the world, Ben. Which national team made their debut at the 2016 Euros?
Oh my
Comeback question,
gosh.
that is.
Really?
Tricked us there, didn't
Easy,
he?
mate, easy.
Easy?
Which national team made their debut at the 2016
Easy, mate,
Euros?
Easy.
Oh, I've got this.
Yeah, me too.
Where was 2016?
Easy.
Where was it, Jay?
I think it was France.
Don't be giving
Oh,
to.
there you
Come
go.
on. 5.
5,
Are we back in?
4.
No.
Not back in. There's no points up grabs. 3.
Slovenia.
No.
Iceland?
Iceland's the correct answer.
Good, it's good.
He also knocked out England in that
They did.
tournament.
That's
Case to
exactly what they
Watto
did.
because he was on the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Pain, I still feel the pain.
Yeah, it's true.
There we
Still
go.
feeling that pain. Easy question.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah,
If you let me read the question.
You've got to get a competitive edge, Jay.
Yeah, you do.
Come on.
The score is 1-1-0, yeah?
Yeah, brilliant, Jiminy.
Which player got player of the match in the Euro 2024 final? Which player got player of the match in the
Williams.
Euro 2024 final? Nico Williams.
he was very good.
He was very good.
He was very, very,
Very good youngster. Question, all square.
All square, Jiminy.
Question 5. Who is the only nation to win the Euros with a foreign manager? Who is the only nation to win the Euros with a foreign manager?
Portugal.
No. He was Portuguese.
Well, I'll get that, mate, yeah.
Greece?
Greece is the correct answer. They won it with Otto Regal, I think is the name.
Say it again.
Absolutely
What
butchered
nationality
it.
is it?
German.
German.
Otto
Let me
Regal.
read his name.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to read my writing.
Otto Rehagel.
Rehagel. There we
Reinhagel
go.
or something.
Reinhagel.
Yeah, there we go.
Proper German name.
So Tom
2-1-1.
Tom takes the lead.
Come on.
Question 6. How many players maximum can a national team select for the Euros?
26.
26 is the correct answer.
It's too easy.
We should have got it then. Question 7. Luis de la Fuente is currently the Spanish manager, but who was the Spanish manager before him?
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique is the correct
Have we
answer.
not had that already?
We have
this
not had that
tournament?
question. We have not had that question. We haven't. It's in the quiz
I'll
database.
take it, Jiminy.
It's in the quiz.
Gone in front again. You're right, Foz.
No, 3, 2, 1.
Career path, you get at these, Ben.
Yeah, I'll get these, yeah.
I have played for Chelsea, Swansea City loan, Crystal
Llorente.
Palace. No. That's it.
Wait,
Chelsea, Swansea City loan, Crystal Palace.
Say it again.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
Swansea City loan, Crystal Palace.
Gay.
Gay is the correct answer.
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
there we go. Question 9.
Was it 3-2-2?
Yeah.
3, 2, 2.
So I'm in the tiebreaker now.
Yep. Well, no, you might,
You might not, actually.
If Watto or Ben gets 2 in a row
questions
now.
left?
Question
That's
9.
question 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, you put yourself under a bit of pressure. Mate.
Which country was the first country to host the Euros twice?
England.
No. Which country was the first country to host the Euros twice?
France.
No. This is to win.
Germany.
No.
Oh,
Damn it!
Italy.
I
Italy, yeah.
nearly said
Yeah.
mother.
No.
Fiddler.
No.
No.
Flipper.
Oh my god.
Question 10. Which player got player of the tournament in this
Jamal.
Euros? No. He got young player of the tournament.
Which player got player of the tournament?
Yeah. Which player got player of the tournament in this Euro 2024?
What, like official UEFA?
Official, yeah.
Absolutely no idea.
So Lamine Yamal got young.
Can I get half a point for that?
N'Golo Kante.
No. 5. Rodri's a correct answer.
Shut up!
Come on for half time yesterday.
Shut up!
Rodri got player of the tournament, yeah.
Come on.
There we go.
Back-to-back wins, thank you very much.
Oh, it's
There we go.
pathetic.
Well done.
Well done,
It's
Tom.
pathetic. Well done.
Have we got a
We have got a tiebreaker.
You do have a
Come on, give me
tiebreaker.
the
It's a career
tiebreaker.
path tiebreaker.
Oh, you like these, Ben?
this will
Career
finish you off,
path
Benji.
Come on
tiebreaker.
then.
Are you ready? I have played for Sunderland, Darlington loan, Alford Town loan, Burton Albion loan, Carlisle United loan, Bradford City loan, Preston North End loan, Everton.
Jordan Pickford.
Jordan Pickford.
I think I said it first.
You did. You
said-
did. You
yeah,
did.
I
You
think
said
you
it just
did.
first.
One of the teams you said, third up down.
Alfred.
Darlington.
Alfreton.
Alfreton.
I said that last time, Alfreton, didn't I?
Is it
Alfreton.
Alfreton?
Alfred. Yeah,
Alfreton.
Alfreton.
Right, do you remember the Donchester United?
Manchester United returning, yeah.
Gee, that's some loans,
Yeah.
that is, by the way.
But you can tell as a
Keepers.
goalkeeper when you've
Yeah.
got all the loans in there. Narrows it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. That is the football filling Euro 2024
Who won
quiz.
overall? The quiz overall. Benji.
Ben, yeah.
Honestly.
Out of all of them, you got a couple in at the start. You
I
did,
didn't
yeah.
do the first game, just saying. But
You didn't. But yeah, you are the overall winner of the Euros 2024
well done,
quiz.
Benji boy.
I don't
You
even know
win.
how that's possible.
You win.
I don't know how that's possible.
You win that football.
You win flights home.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it, Joe.
Well done,
I'll
lads.
take it. Right, Wicked, you lot, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Yeah, it didn't come home, but you know what?
It will in 2 years.
It will in 2 years, and we all had a nice time along the way, didn't we? See you soon. It's football filling.